Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're looking at a blueprint for raising kids that kind of flips our modern ideas about education upside down. Imagine a framework where the whole journey doesn't start on the first day of school, but maybe even before you were born. So that really brings us to a huge question, one that gets right to the heart of it all. When do you think a child's education really starts? Is it their first day of kindergarten? Maybe when they say their first words? Well, the framework we're digging into today has an answer that you're probably not expecting. According to this philosophy, a child's education starts, get this, before they're even conceived. Yeah, and just that one idea, it completely changes how you think about parenting and even personal responsibility. All right, so let's get into the source. Everything we're talking about in this explainer is based on the book Child Education in Islam by Abdullah Nasih Ulwan. What he does is lay out this really detailed method for raising kids, all grounded in Islamic principles. And it covers, every single stage of development. Okay, so if education starts before a child is even born, you've got to be asking, where does it begin? Well, Section 1 tells us it all kicks off with choosing a partner. The whole idea here is that the very first step in a child's education is deciding who's going to create that family unit to begin with. So what does the book say makes an ideal partner? It actually lays out 5 key principles, and you'll see they all point to one single goal: creating a really stable and, righteous environment for a future child. So first up, the absolute foundation is choosing based on religion and good manners. We're talking shared values and solid character here. Then it mentions things like noble birth and honor, which is explained as picking someone from a family that's known for its integrity. It also suggests preferring to marry outside the immediate family, that's exogamy, and also preferring a fertile woman, both of which are seen as ways to promote a healthy continuing family line. Lastly, it mentions a preference for virgins in most cases, which the book explains is about fostering a stronger, kind of pure bond right from the start. So from the author's viewpoint, these aren't just, a list of rules. They're all interconnected pieces designed to build the absolute strongest foundation for a child who doesn't even exist yet. All right, so the family unit is formed and a child is born. Now what? The educational journey just keeps right on going, this time with specific rituals. And that brings us to our second section, welcoming the newborn. This part details the practices for bringing that child into the community right from day one. So to really get this section, we need to know a key term. It's called Akika. What is it? Well, it's a religious tradition that the book talks about, and it involves slaughtering a goat on the 7th day after a child is born. So you might be wondering, what's the point of this ritual? According to the author, the Akika isn't just one thing. It has all these different layers of meaning. For one, it's seen as a kind of redemption, a way to protect the child from harm. It's also a sacrifice that brings you closer to God, and of course, a way to show just how happy you are about this new baby. But it doesn't stop there. By sharing the food with family, friends, and people in need, it becomes this amazing act of social solidarity. It strengthens the bonds of friendship and love in the community. So you see, it really connects the spiritual, the personal, and the social all in one single act. Okay, so we've gone from the pre-birth stage to the welcoming rituals. But beyond that, the book lays out a central, ongoing duty for parents. This is where we get to Section 3, the pillar of faith. And this is all about building a child's awareness of God. This quote here, which is from a prophetic teaching cited in the book, it really nails the core of this whole section. The number one goal of faith education, as the author puts it, is to instill this deep, constant awareness of God. Think about it. The idea is that this awareness becomes like a built-in compass. It's what guides a child's decisions and actions for their entire life, whether they're by themselves or in a crowd. And building right on top of that foundation of faith, we come to Section 4. This is where we talk about turning that belief into actual action. It's about forging a moral compass. To really drive home one of the biggest influences on a kid's moral growth, their friends, the book uses this incredible analogy. It says a good friend is like a perfume seller, right? Even if you don't buy any perfume, you're going to walk away smelling nice. On the flip side, a bad friend is like a bellows blower, a blacksmith. You get too close, you'll either get your clothes burned or at the very least, you're going to walk away smelling of smoke. The message is just so clear, isn't it? The book argues that helping your child choose their friends isn't just a small thing, it's a huge, fundamental part of their moral education. Wow. Okay, so we've gone all the way from choosing a partner to welcoming a newborn to choosing friends. Our final section now kind of zooms out to show you just how big and all-encompassing this blueprint really is. Let's look at section 5, a holistic upbringing. And believe me, when this book says holistic, it is not kidding. The framework lays out what it calls educator responsibilities across seven key areas. So it's not just faith education and ethical education. It also gets into physical education, intellectual, psychological, social, and yes, even sexual education. The goal here is literally a complete blueprint for raising a well-rounded, whole human being. So after all of that, what's the endgame? What's the ultimate goal of this incredibly detailed system? The author puts it right there in the introduction. The point isn't just to raise a good kid. It's so much bigger. The goal, and I'm quoting here, is the reformation of the individual, the family, society, and humanity. I mean, that's a huge vision, right? The idea that raising one child the right way can create these ripple effects that can actually help make the entire world a better place. So there you have it. That's our look at this blueprint for raising children. It's a journey that starts, as we saw, before birth and has a goal as big as improving all of humanity. It's a really comprehensive vision, for sure. And it kind of leaves us with a final question to think about for ourselves. What elements do you think truly make up a complete education for life?